Good evening. Coming up in Mello TV Evening News, woman and child linked to Member of Parliament Philip Powell declared missing. Opposition People's National Party calls on Prime Minister Holness to name the illicit six. Education Minister warns against using access to education as a form of punishment. And Hanover Police is seeking public assistance to identify murder suspects. And now the news in detail. An ongoing investigation is underway to determine the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of a 10-month-old child and her mother, reportedly linked to Member of Parliament Philip Powell. The incident occurred on Saturday, with allegations suggesting that the child's mother received a phone call from another woman earlier in the week, claiming that Mr. Powell is also the father of her child. The mother and child, who reside at Glenmore Drive, Kingston 20, have not been seen or heard from since. Mr. Powell, who represents East Kingston and Port Royal in Parliament, was interviewed by investigators at the Halfway Tree Police Station on Saturday morning. The identities of the missing mother and child have been disclosed by the Halfway Tree Police, who are urging anyone with information to come forward. The mother is identified as 27-year-old Cheyenne Patterson, also known as Tosh, and the child is 10-month-old Saraya Powell. According to police, Patterson is of dark complexion, slim build, about 163 centimeters or 5 feet 4 inches tall. Saraya is of dark complexion and approximately 75 centimeters tall. Reports from the Halfway Tree Police indicate that Patterson and Saraya were last seen at their gate around 7 a.m. Patterson was wearing a brown tube top, army green sweatpants, and black Crocs, while Saraya was dressed in a pink onesie. They have not been in contact with anyone since. Anyone who knows the whereabouts of Shania Patterson and Saraya Powell is urged to contact the Halfway Tree Police at 876-926-8184, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. The Jamaica Labour Party held an area council meeting yesterday in Old Harbour to introduce candidates in that area for the upcoming local government elections. Speaking at the meeting, Prime Minister Andrew Holness spoke on some of the achievements of the party.
We reach a point in the last 7 years where we have been managing your affairs in such a way that we now have the resources being consistently generated to do these important things. But all of you here standing and listening to my presentation, in the back of your mind, you are still saying, I want house. I want my road fixed. I want to be able to send my children to school. All of you here still have some level of dissatisfaction with your own state. You want better. As your Prime Minister, I can't make it be all about power. As your Prime Minister, it has to be about fulfilling your needs.
Prime Minister Holness also spoke on efforts within the health sector.
We're not comfortable when we go to our hospitals. But the work that we are doing now, which takes time, but Minister Tufton has been managing it ably, that when that comes to fruition, you are going to see a substantial transformation in Jamaica's healthcare, which will make your life better off. I know that all of you here, when you go to the hospital and you have to wait long, you're upset. When you go to the hospital and we don't have enough bed, you're upset. When you go to the hospital and the conditions there just make everybody angry, you're upset. And you feel like, boy, you know, you're upset about Jamaica and not now go on. The process of changing that is not a snap of the finger.
Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Catherine, Edward Warmington, used the opportunity to announce the launch of the Area Council 2 Parish Council elections.
We in Area Council 2 decided that tonight we will launch our Parish Council election in St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas, and St. Catherine. If the election is 1 month from tonight, if it is 2 months from tonight, if it is 3 months from tonight, it's a year from tonight, Area Council 2 will launch with Parish Council election tonight.
Mr. Warmington also took jabs at the People's National Party and made reference to a recent poll they conducted.
I can tell you, any poll you pay for as a party, that you get. So when PNP pay for some fraud poll and tell you nonsense, I'll ask a good pollster, go there tomorrow and poll to see where the Jamaica Labour Party stand.
In the meantime, leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, is calling on the Prime Minister to name the 6 government officials currently being investigated.
People, we have to do better than this, Jamaica. We have a government that has been racked with corruption. 6 parliamentarians, 6 members of parliament are under investigation for illicit enrichment. Andrew Holness, you are the leader of that party. Tell the people who are the ones who are under investigation. I know that you know. Tell the people. Are you one of them, Andrew? Tell the people. Don't hide it, tell it. The people have a right to know. They need to know that their parliament is functioning with transparency and accountability. That people with a conflict of interest are not making decisions about important institutions like the Integrity Commission.
The Integrity Commission released in its 2022-2023 annual report, and in the report it noted that 6 members of parliament were under investigation alongside 28 parliamentarians. The report was tabled in Parliament in July of this year. And the People's National Party has expressed strong disapproval of recent statements made by members of the Jamaica Labour Party, including Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Information Minister Robert Morgan, as well as Cliff Hughes, owner of the Nationwide News Network. Their statements were made in response to the shooting incident at Nationwide premises in Kingston. The PNP have described the comments as irresponsible and lacking as substantiation. While acknowledging the nation's shared shock and concern over the attack, the PNP says it is deeply troubled by what they perceive as premature conclusions reached by certain individuals. The PNP emphasizes the importance of due process and the rule of law and says it is concerned that the JLP implicated their party and General Secretary without allowing the police to complete their investigation and establish motives. Such actions, the PNP says, undermines the integrity of the investigative process. The PNP has also raised concerns about remarks made by Cliff Hughes in a recent interview. Hughes, in the absence of evidence, attempted to link the PNP to the attack, which the PNP asserts is both unfounded and reckless. Additionally, the PNP says the alignment of views between the JLP government and Hughes, both arriving at the same conclusion with limited information, has raised suspicion. The PNB emphasizes the importance of citizens receiving accurate and impartial information, particularly during sensitive periods, from both the government and the media. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company Limited, the JUTC, has announced an immediate adjustment to the operations of the 73AX bus route, which travels from Halfway Tree via Hope Road and Papine to UWI Backgate. Effective immediately, the 73AX bus will no longer pick up commuters on Spencer James Drive. In light of this change, the JUTC has arranged for an alternative loading area at the lower level of the Halfway Tree Transport Center to ensure the convenience of passengers. All other schedules related to the 73AX route will remain unchanged. The JUTC encourages the continued support of the public as they strive to provide improved service. The Hanover police are this evening seeking the public's assistance in identifying 2 of 3 individuals involved in the murder of 52-year-old businesswoman Claudette Samuels and 17-year-old student Shari Diston. The incident occurred at Samuels' Bamboo Drive business on May 7. According to reports, 2 men posing as customers entered the establishment and handed Samuels a large denomination bill. When Samuels went to provide change, the men pulled out handguns, robbed her, and opened fire, killing her. They also shot 2 male customers and Shari Diston, who was in a passing taxi. Diston later succumbed to her injuries at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. The police are urging anyone with information to contact the Lucy Police Emergency at 119 or the nearest police station. Minister of Education and Youth Favor Williams has issued a warning to school administrators and teachers, cautioning them against using access to education as a form of punishment. This comes in response to a recent report of a school considering locking out students with school bags labeled dunce as a disciplinary measure. Minister Williams stressed the need for consistent and judicious corrective actions, highlighting that denying students access to education as a punitive measure are not only worsen undesirable behavior, but is also illegal. The minister noted that it violates international conventions and national laws, emphasizing the best interest of the child. She urged administrators and teachers to uphold the law and respect children's rights, emphasizing their role as agents of state. The education minister encouraged alternative strategies for addressing behavioral issues, including engaging in discussions with students, motivational sessions, counseling, referrals, and involving parents and guardians. The minister emphasized the importance of creating a positive and inclusive learning environment and called for responsible and informed decision-making by school authorities. And those are the stories making the news this evening. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News. I'm Nicole Hales. Stay safe and thanks for watching.